Hi, I'm Ryan Sloan for the Gear Cage, and today Shure announced and released the new MV7 microphone. It's a dual analog and digital threat. It gives you the audio quality you're used to from an SM7B from its XLR output, just like a standard microphone, but it's also a USB microphone in one package. And at $249, this thing is going to be absolutely huge. So let's dig into it.
All right! Yes!
All right, let's start off with an unboxing here, and it's going to be somewhat unconventional because I'm just standing here with the box in my hand. So this is the box that it comes in. It's not overly large. It's about the same size you would expect from an SM7B box. And you know what I didn't realize? It's got security tape here, so that thing is not going anywhere. Let me open this real quick. All right, I'm back, and I kid you not, it took me 5 minutes and a machete to break into it. But when you open the box, you get this nice welcome to better sound box from Shure here. And even then, it still won't vacate the box. There we go, you've got a nice tight form-fitting box here. See, this is what happens when you do this all in real time. All right, and as we're opening it up here, you see some literature that just fell out. So that's important, we'll get to that here. But basically, for the most part in the package, it's just the microphone in there. Like it's basically all that's in here. So I took the microphone itself out. You do have your Euro thread adapter so that you can adapt it to any type of mic stand. We're gonna take this carton off and just toss it back like that. You're gonna have your general product manual, warranty information, and the like. And last but not least, but also important for what we're doing today, you're going to have your USB cable. So that's going to come in the box. And then we also have this other cable as well. So it looks like there are two cables in here. Let's open this up. Ah, yes. So this looks like a USB-C to micro USB cable and a standard micro USB to USB-A cable. So yeah, the micro USB side is going to connect to the microphone itself, and then your USB-A cable and or USB-C cable will hook directly to your computer or tablet or iPhone or any of those things. So that's everything that's in the box. So it's pretty straightforward. Let's actually put the mic on the stand and put it through its paces for you guys. All right, we've got the microphone unboxed, and we're actually still on the shotgun microphone, but let's go ahead and switch over to the MV7 here. So now you're hearing me, like you'd normally be up on an SM7 here, pretty close for proximity effect. One thing that you can instantly notice is that this mic does not require nearly as much gain. So you could probably use this on a good audio interface without a need for a cloud lifter. So that's something to consider. But the MV7 marries analog and digital sound together beautifully in one seamless package. It allows you to get amazing quality recordings with traditional mixers, or if you're going solo, you can plug right into a USB port for game streaming audio or Zoom meetings perhaps, and even recording direct to your favorite software such as Pro Tools or Logic or Studio One or Ableton, Bitwig, whatever you want, you can plug right in and record with it when you're going solo. So when you're using the microphone like a standard dynamic mic, just like we are now, it does work just like a traditional SM7B would. You run an XLR cable out, just like this, and you run that direct into your mixer or your audio interface or your outboard gear and give it some gain. But if you want to use it like a USB microphone, you can take advantage of the Shure MOTIV app, and that gives you some interesting capabilities for DSP control of the microphone to tailor it to your specific application.
So that can actually help with musical purposes, virtual meetings, podcasts, and all of that streaming and recording stuff. All right, so now we're here using the actual microphone itself as a USB microphone specifically. And I'm going to pull up the screen here too so you can see the Shure Plus MOTIV app. And when you're recording via USB, this is actually how you're going to use it specifically with USB with a computer. So no interface here. This is just the microphone right into the computer that you're hearing right now. So as you can see, it sounds really good. Like if you're doing a podcast, this is great. And the tools they've given you with the Shure Plus MOTIV app are phenomenal. So let's go through those. Let's look at the screen here. So you can see the presets here. If you click here, you can save your own custom presets. You can also mute the mic. And we're back. And when you're recording or playing back, you can actually choose whether it's coming all from the computer here, or if you want to have only the mic input source here. Typically, you're going to want to keep that in the middle probably for the best results, depending on how you're using it. Now, another interesting thing you can do with the DSP and the microphone is have it configure itself for your needs better. So in that case, you can actually say, hey, we're close to the microphone here, so let's pretend that we're using it this way as opposed to being far away when it's not going to be as optimized for your signal at that point. Now, if you do want to be far away, you can click the button here. And now it's actually optimized for that. So you'll notice I didn't really get any closer to it, but the tone of the microphone changed just like that. So especially if you're not used to recording, this is an awesome feature to have because you don't have to have knowledge of, recording, EQ, compression, and all of that to make it work. Now, let's set back up to the near setting here just to get that sound back. And let's go through the tone settings that it has here. So that way you can get an idea, because this microphone, just like an analog SM7, actually does have the ability to, hold on a second, does have the ability to have different EQ curves and positions here. So let's take a look at that. So we're going to start with the dark tone here, and we're going to work our way back to the midpoint, which is called natural. So you can hear that's kind of right in the middle, as the name would imply. And then there's also a high frequency boost that you can get with the bright switch. So depending on the timbre of your voice, there's really a setting for everyone there. Now, if you don't want to use these specific pre-configured menus that Shure has come up with, you can also switch to manual mode. So you can do a lot of the same stuff here in terms of muting the microphone, or you can control the gain specifically, the level of the gain coming in. You can boost it up to as high as 36, and you know what? It's still dead quiet, even though it's at 36 dB of gain. Really cool. All right, same control for monitor mix. You have multiple EQ curves that you can run. You have a limiter built in, and then you can also choose the compression that you're using in each given situation. So really the same controls as the other screen, just slightly more detailed depending on your particular application. So let's go back over to this in near mode natural. You can hear the tonal shift right away by doing that. So really interesting. Let's take a listen to a quick musical track I attempted to do with some acoustic guitar and some basic vocals, just so you can get an idea of what that sounds like coming through here, and then we'll wrap the video up.
Oh no, feels like I'm falling away from myself. Outside feels like it's calling, 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 calling.
Now, let's do a demo using the microphone for speaking, which I guess we kind of have been right now, as far as giving you an idea of what it sounds like. But we will compare it to the Shure SM7B here in just a minute. But let's also try to use it for music purposes to see if this really can be a one-size-fits-all microphone for you. at, again, that amazing price point of $249.
All right, so how does it sound compared to the SM7B? I think you'll find the microphones to sound pretty close. The SM7B does have a slightly different tone to it, but for a $150 difference, I think the MV7 is going to make sense to everyone doing podcasting and streaming and using the microphone for like Zoom meetings. I think in purely musical settings, the SM7B still does make a lot of sense. Now, let's listen to the SM7B and the MV7 side by side and see what we think. And I'm going to read a bit out of this book, the Card Tricks book. So I'm going to read into both microphones so you can get a sense of what they sound like. Again, this is the new MV7, and this is the tried and true classic SM7B. Let's find some interesting material here.
All right. Springing the cards. This is a favorite flourish with card conjurers, and when well done, the effect is brilliant. With the hands held apart, the cards are made to leap from one hand to the other. The moves are as follows. Hold the pack in the right hand by the ends between the thumb and the middle and ring fingers. All right, that was the MV7. Now let's go to the SM7. Springing the cards. This is a favorite flourish with card conjurers, and when well done, the effect is brilliant. With the hands held apart, the cards are made to leap from one hand to the other. The moves are as follows. 1. Hold the pack in the right hand by the ends, between the thumb and the middle and ring fingers.
All right, so there you have it. There is a demo of both microphones from a purely kind of reading perspective here. Now, one thing to note here, between the volume differences of them, the MV7 is currently set up at 40 dB of gain on the Apollo, whereas the SM7B is set for 50. So they sound relatively close levels-wise, but there's a 10 dB difference between them. That's going to mean that this is going to be way more friendly for your more entry-level interfaces. So definitely keep that in mind as well. Thanks so much for taking the time to watch. I hope you've enjoyed this demo. If you do have any questions, be sure to leave them in the comments below. And thanks again for watching. I'm Ryan Sloan with the Gear Cage, and we'll see you again here soon.